Hi there, this is Rudy. Welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about Power Pages on how you can show a custom notification message on your website. Let's get started with a practical example, and then I'm going to show how you can do that. Here on my website, I have a table of notifications. So I create an item in the table, a notification. It reflects here in the page. Here I have a table showing the notifications, the messages, and here I have a card gallery. I was just trying to test this new feature that's the card gallery they just announced recently. Okay, there's the link here. I will leave in the description in case you are curious about it. But let's go to the point of the notification. What happens here is that when I open my site, when the screen shows, it shows this custom message that disappears after 5 seconds, saying that the user has 3 notifications. That means we have 3 items in this table. If I add a new line, a new row, it will show that the user has 4 notifications. Let's see, I'm going just to add a new row to a table called site notification, and this is what shows in my home page of this demonstration site. So I'm going to go to the table, and this is a new notification. Okay, I can just add an image to show in the card gallery in case I want, but I'll just add a text. This is the text, and I won't add any image. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm just going to sync just to make sure the site updates with the new message. And then after synced, let's refresh this page and it should show that you have now 4 notifications. See, you have 4 notifications. So in this video, I'm going to show how to show this message, what I did and how you can also do. If I go to this alerts demo, we can see the alerts demo basic. So let's go to this page and see some examples. Once I open the page, we already see 4 notifications. Let me refresh again because I just implemented these notifications as an example that I can implement the warning, the success, the info, and the danger message. I have 2 examples. One with the basic ones that we don't have that disappearing bar, the timeline bar, and we don't have the closing button. And then we have the second one, the notifications pro, that we have this closing icon. We can set the duration and we can view this timeline feature. Also notice that in this example, they have an animation when they appear on or when they disappear, right? So let's see what I did in this case. I have created a JavaScript file that I can import on the site and then use a function, a JavaScript function to show the demonstration. For example, in this one that I called the basic demo, I can set up the message, hello, I'm a warning, and then select the alert style, warning, and click on show alert. It shows in here. It will disappear after 5 seconds. What happens is that you can download this JavaScript file for free and import on your site. I'm going to demonstrate right now in a couple of seconds. In the second example, in the Pro one, I can set up the duration and it's going to have these other features. So this is a demonstration message. And I'm going to choose success and show alert. It shows in here, this is the demonstration message. And since I didn't set the duration, it disappears after 5 seconds, but I can set, let's say to 2 seconds, that means 2000 milliseconds. Clicking on show alert, then it disappears after 2 seconds. Okay, now how can we implement that on a very new website? Here I have a brand new website that doesn't do anything. I just created it, added this image in the background, and there's nothing here. I'm in the design studio, and then I just need to import some files and start using it. As we can see in this page, I have the instructions on how to do. Basically, we have to import a file to the site, import a JavaScript to the page, and start calling the JavaScript function. This is what happens here in the home screen. When the page loads, I just count the number of notifications, number of messages that I have in the table, and I call the JavaScript function to let the user know that we have 4 notifications. We can also use this in other parts of the page when, for example, running a custom JavaScript that we want to notify the user that something has ended. Okay, so let's see how to do that. Here I have the site that I want to implement the notifications. I'm going to implement the pro ones, but you can get the basic ones for free. If you want to get the pro ones, then you just need to pay me a coffee. Here's the site. I have this buy me a coffee website. I will put the link in the description and then you can go to extras. Here we have the free one that you can download somewhere. It's not showing here, but I'm sure it will be there. Let me see this other one. Okay, it's because you need to click on purchase, but it's free, and then you will receive the files. Okay, then you will receive 2 files, a JavaScript file and an HTML file. Let's take a look at them. Here are the 2 files that you will receive. The first one is the JavaScript you're going to import to your website, and the second one is the sample page. So you can copy this HTML, paste on a new page just to test the alerts. Okay, so let's get this one, the HTML. I'm going to open with any text editor, let's say Notepad in my case, and then I can copy this HTML. Control C here. Okay, I'm going to create a new page just to add the sample HTML. Let me say sample alerts. Okay, blank page, click on add, and then I'm going to edit code, open on Visual Studio and paste that code. So we have the same page and all the instructions will also be there. So I'm going to delete this text, Ctrl A to select everything, delete, and Ctrl V to paste. Now I'm going to save, pressing Ctrl S. This is saved, I can close, and now I can sync my page. It will load that HTML here. I still didn't import the JavaScript, but that's the very simple step. Okay, see here we have all the HTML. I can preview and I will see that page with all the instructions and also with the testing parts in case you want to test. That's a good idea. Okay, let's see the results. Here's the page. Here I have the instructions on where I have to import this file, what I have to add to the new page that you want to use the alerts, and how to call the alerts. Even the code for this button to try. Right now, if I click, it doesn't work because I didn't import the JavaScript yet. So let's do that. In order to do this, I'm going to go to the Design Studio and I need to open the Power Pages Management. That's where we manage the Power Page files. Okay, once I open the Power Pages Management, we can continue. So let's wait it to load. Okay, here in the Power Pages Management, we have web files. The idea here is that we just need to import one single file it will be inside our Power Page files and we don't depend on any other files or any library, anything else. It's all included in this JavaScript. Even the CSS that makes the design of the cards that show the message are here. So it's totally independent. You just need to import once and use in all your sites. Okay, I'm going to create a new file here. I'm going to call sample, let me see in the example here, pagesalert.js. So let's call it pagesalert.js. I need to choose the website, that in this case is test site, is the name of my site. The parent page, I'm going to put on home so all the pages have access. The partial URL, I can put the same name. This is what I'm going to use to call the script inside the page, the HTML. So it's going to be pages alerts. As we can see here, when I include the script of the JavaScript, I include pagesalert.js. Here's the name that will define that. Okay, I need to set it to published and then save. And after saving, we have the last step, that's importing the file to this record. We just need to click on choose file. Go to the folder where you downloaded the two files and we need to choose the JavaScript file that's called pages alert. In this case, even though it's a JavaScript file, we cannot have the extension .js. That's why when you download it, it doesn't come with the extension because that's how we import the files to this part of the configuration. So I'm going to select, click on open, then it's going to upload. Now it's all correct. We can save and close. And then if we go back to the site, in this sample page, we are already importing it in the HTML. So if I click on sync, just to reload these new changes that I did in the model drive, we can see it working, hopefully. So I'm going to go to sample alert, this page, refresh it, and let's try. Okay, apparently it didn't work. Let me understand why. Okay, let me see the codes and let me see if there is anything different here. Apparently it's all good. Here I'm also importing it, pagesalert.js, pagesalert.js. Okay, let me sync again and try opening again. So let's click on preview to make it reload. Okay, let me see if I can find what went wrong. Pages alerts.js. And here I put pages alert.js. That's what's missing. The wrong name, so we don't have an S here in the partial URL. And in the site we had it. Okay, let me put an S. Sorry about that. Let me just rename here. Save and close. Now that I followed the instruction, putting the correct name, let's sync again and see if it's going to work. I didn't follow my own instructions. Okay, let's refresh the page. Now we have already the alerts in my very new website, showing that it was very easy to configure. The hard part was when I put the wrong name in the file name, but now we see them working here. See, I can use. This is the sample page. Let's go and put the same codes in this button in the home page that doesn't do anything right now. So I'm just going to go to sample alerts, and then I can copy this code here and put in the on click of that button in the home screen. Or I can even copy the on click from here and get it already from the beginning to the end, so I don't need to type the on click in there, and I make sure that's calling it correctly. So let me copy this, and then I'm going to go to the home page codes. So you can go to the home page, click on edit codes to edit the button code, because here, as far as I know, we cannot edit what happens when we click on it, just change links, but it's not the case. So I'm going to go to the home codes, find the button that's in here, and I'm going to paste the on click on it, right? So that will call the display Power Pages alert function that shows the message. I also need to import the JavaScript to the page. So this is the code that imports the script. We can paste to the end of the HTML, or it can be on the beginning, doesn't matter. Let me put in the end and save it. Once I saved, so I added the on click to the button and added the script to this page. Now I'm going to sync, and then I'm going to open the page again, click on preview to open in the website, and we should be able to see the notification when we press the button. Let's see the results. Okay, it's loaded, and here is the notification. See, I just called it. Looks very nice, and also disappears very nicely. That's all. I'll leave the link to download the simple notification and the pro notifications in the URL. And I have created a discount code for the first ones who download it. Let me get the codes somewhere here and provide it to you. Okay, where is it? You that stayed until the end can see this is the codes for the pro notifications. I also put in the description. So the first 10 people will get a 25% discount on these pro codes. So the coffee that you're going to pay me is a little bit cheaper. Okay? Thanks for watching. See you in the next videos. Bye bye.